way-ah-hey-yo, way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-ya-hey, way-ah-hey-yo, 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 way-ah-hey, way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-yo, way-ah-hey-yo, way-ah-hey, way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-yo, 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 way-ah-hey-yo. Everybody, everybody, everybody sing and drum your heart and heal your soul and feel your soul. Everybody, everybody, we can lead the way to a better day with the warrior strength for justice and grace. And together with the youth, we'll rise like the sun, just like the sun. And if we carry on, we honor the battles hard won by the elders and the ancestors for justice and truth to empower the youth. Way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-ya, way-ah-hey-ya-hey, way-ah-hey-yo, 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 way-ah-hey-yo. Welcome, everyone. We hope some people are here. If you're here, let us know you're here. Give us a shout out in the comments. It's me and Mom for this moment in time as we travel through cyberspace to be with you. And if you're coming in and maybe you're not in just yet or you're watching this when it's recorded, but today we're going to talk about the moon and the stars and what is ours. And we just got through with Thanksgiving and we're getting ready for some more holidays coming in. And Thanksgiving has makes us feel good, but it also has a history connected to it that is not exactly true, but we can still be thankful. So anyway, we start with a song. And that is one of the new songs that I made, and Mom's is singing it with me. And we start with the heartbeat. Hi, Daniel. We're glad you're here. And everyone, the heartbeat is the first sound that every human being in the world hears. And it's not your heartbeat, it's your mama's heartbeat. And there's my mom. And hi, Brother Tay. Oh, Natay is there. We're so happy to see you, Natay. Or I'm wearing your shirt. Today's also, and Angie. Oh, that's so nice to see you all because, we're separated right now. And maybe some of us haven't seen each other in a while. I haven't seen my brother Tay for a while. But I got to see Angie not too long ago. And with the media and cyberspace, it's a real space. Like it allows us to travel through time and space to be with each other. So it's still a spiritual area. And I'm so glad you guys are here, And so that's what today is about poetry and song and story and our stories and how they're connected. And Mom's is going to share her poetry too. And I picked the moon and the stars because didn't you all see the big full moon the other night? And a couple nights ago, there was even a lunar eclipse, and I was waking up with insomnia and I saw it. And let me tell you all something about the moon. All of us have a story about the moon, probably. And if you don't, after this, you will. And think about the moon for a minute. But all of humanity in the past and in the future will see that moon. And we'll all think of it in different ways, our cultural way, or what it means to us personally. And the moon affects us. It affects the tides, the animals, us. Sometimes we think the full moon is really romantic, but what I've learned since I do marriage ceremonies that the full moon is full and it exerts pressure. So sometimes we squabble and fight during the full moon. And every moon has a lesson behind it. This last moon was the big it's November, and I mean, no, not November. This is our December moon. So the last moon was the solstice, and this is like a full winter moon when we're getting ready to hibernate. So everyone, think for a moment about what the moon means to you. And a lot of native traditions we call the moon, which will mean the woman's menses cycle, because we cycle every 28 days. So the moon also means life. So think about just for a moment in time what the moon means to you. And then maybe when we're done, we'll go out and we'll look at the moon and we'll know that this moon on this day connects us always. And even if I'm here in California, my friend Nate in Albuquerque will see the same moon. And because we're in this hemisphere, we'll even see what the moon looks like together. So the moon unites us and it tells us a story. And you know who the moon belongs to, everyone? It belongs to all of us. It's something no one can buy. We'll try to mine it. We're out there, the Chinese went up to the moon and they were looking at the moon rocks and but the moon belongs to all of us. In the future, hopefully, we'll get better as humans at taking care of our resources and nature, and hopefully we won't use up the moon like we use the earth. And hopefully we will learn to take better care of our earth because our earth and our moon are related. Mom, what's your favorite thing about the moon?
The moon, I love to see its reflection in the water, and I love the big full moon. I feel that it energizes me, and I think it represents the woman, and it restores us, energizes us. So, yes.
And I want everyone to now think about your favorite part of the moon. You know what I think of? I think of once with my brother Nate, he took me to the oldest shrine to the Virgen Guadalupe in New Mexico. And it was a beautiful, it looked little. And when you walked into it, it had all these beautiful candles. And there was a stained glass of the Virgen. And you know what, everyone? It had the cycle of all the moons around that Virgen. I never forgot that. So the moon is even important there in that little shrine. So I want all of you to notice the moon more because mom's talking about the big full moon. And you know what kind of moon I like? I like the little sliver of the moon. And one faces this way and one faces that way. I like that little sliver of the moon. I like to watch it get thick, kind of like me in my old age. But the moon also represents kind of us. Like right now, we might feel like we're the sliver of the moon because we're away from each other, all the things that COVID has happened. But everything changes. And this cycle of COVID and political unrest and racism, it will end and it will change. And hopefully, we'll change it for the better so that it's a full moon. So, anyway, that is the story of the moon. So, if anyone could anyone put on there in any of the comments what moon you like or something you remember about the moon? I have a friend, Bob Dreisler. He's my accountant, and he takes these beautiful pictures of the reflections of the moon. And then Danielle wrote how the moon means connection, and literally how we're talking about it right now, we're connected. Like when I see that moon, I will think of all of you. I want you to think of us. I want you to think of the different phases of the moon and what they mean. And behind every phase of the moon, there's a story. Now I don't know all those stories, but maybe some of you will find out. But that's what the moon belongs to all of us. And wherever we're at in the world, I have a friend on Facebook, and I know he's out there in the Sahara Desert. And me and him will look at the same moon. And sometimes when we feel bad for each other, when we're in pain, like I know right now there's suffering here in Sacramento, there's been loss of life, and everywhere, right? And we might not even know the people in pain, but we can look up to that moon because it's something that they'll see too if they look up. And we can wish that they look up at that moon and get some healing from that light. Because the moon is also teaching about darkness, right? But in the darkness, there is that beautiful, comforting light. And one of my friends that I know, well, I like to think that we're friends, but we've only seen each other once or twice, was writing about darkness and how darkness, like sometimes we think of darkness as evil, but she was pointing out that in the night we sleep, huh? And sometimes, like when we're feeling low, we sleep. So actually, darkness is like a cover too, and it can nurture us too, and it lets us rest. So the moon and the stars penetrate through that darkness, and they belong to all of us. And in some cultures, they see, like in the Aztec culture, they see the rabbit in the moon. And I know in the Norwegian culture, they see the owl in the moon. So maybe you guys will share some things you learned from your culture about what the moon means. So I'll sing you a song about the moon and tell you the story of it. Way-ah, hey-ah, hey, way-ah, hey, oh, way-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, hey, way-ah, hey, oh, way-ah. Along the river banks, under the midnight moon, the green-eyed canyon cat comes down to play. Way ah, oh way ah, way ah, oh way ya hey yo. Along the river banks, under the midnight moon, the green-eyed canyon cat comes down to play. Shining sun, my little one. Shining sun, our love we three. Along the river banks, under the midnight moon, the green-eyed canyon cat comes down to pray. A little song about the moon and a song about it's actually a song about the river, huh, and the moon and the sun, because the sun and the moon and the earth are we three, and we're always united like that. So think about the sun for a minute, as I put it in the song. And the Aztecas worship the sun. I think I thought I had an Azteca shirt right here, but I don't. And they worship the sun for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that the sun and the earth are like the perfect length apart. Like if you were on Pluto or Uranus or Jupiter, you're too far or you're too close. You know, you're on Mars, you're too far, but Earth is just right. And even when those solar flares come and disrupt our energy and maybe change the climate, the sun doesn't destroy the Earth. We're in balance. And the balance is for all of us. Like this time of year, I know sometimes I get off centered because of the holiday, because it's my brother's birthday, because it's the changing of the seasons. And sometimes I feel some kind of way. And I always remember about the balance, what I got to bring into balance for myself. Um, if it's straightening up stuff, if it's letting stuff go, everyone think about what you need to bring yourself into balance. And also, we're not perfect at it. I think really the real perfect people, like the Dalai Lama or whoever else is really perfect. I can't think of a bunch of people. um, it's a practice, and some people are better than others. Sometimes we find our balance driving, riding our motorcycle, huh, Brother Tay? Or driving the car because you're focused and you're free, right? So balance is a part of where we need to be right now. We don't want to get right now things have been out of balance because the election people are still fighting over it. But you know what? Everyone, let's just bring it back into balance. So that's a teaching from the sun and the moon and the earth and the stars, kind of about balance. And so I want to ask moms, me and moms have matching tattoos. See that tattoo, Tay? Oh, sorry, mom. All right. And so they're to my brother. Tattoos hurt. Some people they don't hurt. I feel like you've been through a lot of pain, but they hurt. That was kind of part of it. And then I got it all tatted up, and mom's kind of stayed to her too. But the story with the tattoos is that they're art, huh? And for us, it was kind of spiritual art because we were going through this pain, so we physically felt the pain. And then even our tattooists are our friends. So they were even part of this ceremony of transformation. Not all people love tattoos, and but this art is for us, for me and mom. So that's part of the story too: art and healing and story and song. And this is the story of how we have these matching tattoos, and my niece has the same tattoo as well. And mom, when we lost my brother Bobby, and a lot of you know how this is there's the before and after, right? The life we led before and the life we lead after the loss. And I remember a post that one of my students put on Facebook. It was a beautiful story, I can't remember. But the part that I loved was about how we, when we're born into the world, we're born with our spirit intact with us. And that our spirit is um, manifested through our emotions and through our happiness and our even our sadness. And that our spirit is this beautiful thing that takes all these life experiences and lets us live through them with grace. And part of today's talk is for each of us to bring each other's spirits up. If we're missing someone we love, like me and mom, if you're going through grief right now, if you lost jobs, if you've been sick with COVID, if you were so upset with the last presidential stuff and everything, like all those things that can make us feel grief, which grief is loss. And sometimes we take grief and we turn it into anger, you know? And really, grief is a manifestation of our soul. It says that every human being that's ever lived and the ones that will come after us will know what it's like to lose someone we love so much because we don't live forever, you know, and how we help each other live through those things, whether it's getting tattoos together that are gifts from your tattooist, or making songs, or like this story is the story of my mom's art and poetry. And so I'm an artist and a poet, and we have many family members are, and many of you are out here. And that's my mom. But it wasn't until my brother passed away that somehow from the wells of her grief and a mom to lose that, that's the hardest thing. She brought beauty and her art and her poetry. And that's part of the lesson too, everyone. That all of us have these manifestations of beauty in us. And when we're going through those hardest times, it's important to bring them up, to smile and to find that joy and to find that beauty, to bring them up when we're going through these hard times. So, Mom, I'm asking Mom to share her poetry and her art.
I I brought some different things. One of them I brought was Grandma's teaching through the healing heart, through the healing heart of hope and the energy of love. And it talks about life, how through life and our experiences, we go through many things. We go through, I wrote this: Grandma's path brings a light of a blanket woven in tears, abuse, love, and joy, and loss, and birth, rebirth, of struggles, of mistakes, of shame, of a few and new beginnings. And this is life, not easy, but all the lessons that are learned is of never giving up and embrace change with grace and keep on learning from what we go through and sharing and find solutions in a good way and always with love and always releasing that pain in that moment of life and give it your best. So these were some of my uh, little. There's a poem, and then um, I write other poems like this one. I think I like for everyone. And I shall see you in the splendor of beauty, Creator's seed cast upon Mother Earth, not blind or deaf to the abundance of life and beauty. And I shall see you in the lives of turbulence and thunder of the ancestors' drum, that link to the spirit world, cosmic heaven, a healing energy, a shield of protection draped with courage. So that's one poem, and I think we reflect when we see uh, these words, and then we look into ourselves, and also we look through what we've gone through and the strength we gained and the courage we have just to go through that. And all these become lessons that we can share with our children and our loved ones, and help this movement of, of healing and bringing all the nations together.
So, everyone think for a minute. Grandma was sharing her poems, and I want you to think for a minute about the lessons and the hardships that you've gone through, that you're going through. And if you could post like what you're going through and something you learned from that, because it's so important to share. And sometimes we don't even think about it, what we're going through, because we're just going through it. And it's someone else that will give us a moment to reflect. So I think like I like to bring my mom with me. We talk these deep subjects because we want to be role models of like having fun and surviving, and then sharing our beauty and our talents. And all of us have our talents. So if you guys would think some hardship that you've overcome and that it gave you a teaching or showed you some beauty in life. And if you guys could post that, share your comments, that would be great too. And I'm playing these drums, and I have a drum. I don't think you can see it right there, but right there, that drum up there. Me and the Tay made those drums back in the day, and I just wanted to show that because I had a painting of Geronimo on it, Goya Flay, one of our ancestors. And drums, because today is about story and song and the moon and the stars, are also a teaching of transformation. Because this drum started out as an elk. That was the back of it right there. And this was an alder tree, and the tree was felled, and the elk was shot, and its meat distributed. And that could just be the end of the story. But then the hide, we had we got the rawhide, and we got the tree, and we transformed two things. This lives were no longer alive, into a drum that carries the heartbeat. And just like Mom's poems and her drawings, it's a transformation of taking the things we learn and being a good auntie. I'm the auntie and that's the mama. And sharing them and having people look at their lives and where that transformation needs to happen too. Do you want to share something else?
I wanted to share something that I thought was very interesting and that it kind of gives us that love we have for the youth and for what we do. And these were some of the things that the kids shared with us.
Aww.
And this is the healing power of sharing, the hardships you go through and also of listening to them and help build them up. And when they're going through the hardest times of losing all their freedom and being incarcerated and not having a stable life. So I brought one, and you want to show it, Maggie?
Oh, so this is some of the art from the kids that we got in juvenile hall. And the sweet thing about it is it says, love is our bond, which keep me motivated, inspired, and moving on. Love you both so much. And we hope, and it's cute, it says thank you, Auntie, and thank you, Grandma. That's another teaching. In a lot of cultures, they say auntie, grandma, uncle, because it's a way of showing affection and also respect. And I like to say I'm auntie because, in American culture, all we're allowed to have is romantic love. Oh, who you like and who you love and who you want to hook up with. But there's all kinds of love. There's mama-daughter love. There's auntie love, there's cousin love, there's if you love the ice cream man and your mailman and your old friends and your new friends, so there's all these different kinds of love. And so, and you know what? When you give love, you get love. So we're not just triangulating into this one way of looking at love. Love is all encompassing. You guys showing up to watch us on Facebook, our friends, and people that are invited, that's love too. You're like, oh, we're going to see grandma and auntie and give them some support. And that's love too. So that's part of that, sharing how he said love is our bond right there. And since we're sharing stuff from the kids, remember this is poetry and art, I wanted, Mom has that drawing, and then I want to share with you a poem that one of the kids wrote. And it goes like this. I am sacred, created from a long line of hope and dreams, pain and pleasure, ebb and flow. This is my only life in this form. I am strong as an oak and delicate as a blue cornflower. Within my soul is a universe of twinkling stars and rainbow-hued galaxies. As a keeper of this soul, I know I'm sacred. I can heal and I will heal. Through any pain, and live through the mundane. For someday I will be an ancestor's name. So we are all sacred. Strong as an oak, or delicate as a blue cornflower. And this right here is another drawing. And all the drawings have a story, okay? Usually the young people ask us to draw. But if you see, it's kind of like the elder and the youth. And then there's the baby. I always have the bobcat and the dragonfly. And then the back is a poem from my mom, and I'm going to read it to you. And it's called A Mother's Soul. Some of us, I'm lucky, I have my mama. And some of us, we don't have our moms. And so I want you to always remember this because there's a time in our lives when our moms will go on to the spirit world. Moms don't want it the other way. But our moms made our hearts. They made all of us. But when you really miss her, you know she made your heart. She made it out of her body and soul. So you always carry your mom's soul. So this is a mother soul. It says, and then there's Mama's little drawing. I think she put some New Mexico dancers right there. It says, and then when I read the poem, I'm going to ask you about it, so listen to it. It says, a mother's soul, you fill my heart with warmth, like sun rays embracing me, the rhythm of life, like the wind or the sea. And if your tears should flow, I'll wipe them with my care. My heart will forever glow, just knowing you are there. To take this walk with me in life and drive all fears away, enjoying this one lifetime in the wholesomeness of each day. Love, Grandma BC. So a mama's soul. Did you guys like that? Was there something in that poem that you liked? Was there something that it reminded you of too about your own mom? Some of you are moms and you're lucky you have your moms with us. You know, also we're imperfect. I am. Mom's more perfect than me. No, I'm always giving her a hard time. But no moms are perfect. But what we all want, and even the imperfect moms, because some of us, our moms are broken. It's easy to get a broken mom because it's such a hard life to be a woman. Mhm. But no mom traded her kids away for drugs or alcohol or men. That was the broken parts of that person. Because sometimes that's all we are, is just parts of a broken person. So if you didn't have a mom that was all together, then I want you to look at all those good parts that she had. Because they're in you. They're in you. And forgive your mamas. And be glad for the most important thing you got, which is this life. Which we're sharing this moment in time with this life. So anything you guys liked about Mom's poem, post that up in the comments. She likes to see all that. Or any things that you remember your teachings from your mama too.
I wanted to share a poem from one of the youth about the hardships that he was going through and how just us being there and supporting him and giving him love, and it helped him. But this is a poem that this is the way he felt. It says, God, help me. I am lost and I don't know which way to go. They judge me and put me down low. Help me, God. I am lost with which road do I go down? Talk to me, Lord, because I don't hear a sound as I sit in this cell. I can't help but think I am putting my family through hell. Help me, God. I am lost, it says, in the world for our sins. You died on this cross. I need you, Lord. I am young and lost. Tears run down my face, though I know it ain't true. But my family, I feel like I'm a disgrace. So anyway, this is youth, and they're immature, and they don't think when they make a decision how it's going to affect and take their freedom. So when we come to talk to the youth, we come to teach them how to live a better life and in a better way wherever they are, and also how to make a plan and to plan on living a better life so that they have better situations that they can judge clearly and live a better life.
Those are some, we have lots of drawings and poems from the youth because art and poetry and story and all these things we're sharing our little stories. So I want to share another poem, and it's a piece of art too. And that's supposed to be half dome. And this is for all of you. Because at the end of the poem, I'm going to ask, who are you? It says, what is life? A precious dance through this cosmic portal of time, a celestial whirlwind recorded only by deeds and the memories of generations to come. Desires, personalities, psychic follies, reenacted in bloodlines, descendants, a flavor, a look, A hero within each new blending. Who will you be to your family tree? A hero, a hellraiser, or a dream running free? Who are you to your family tree? A hero, a hellraiser, a dream running free? Who are you to your family tree? Sometimes we have roles in our family tree and we have to re-examine them because we might be put in a place that we want to change that, huh? Not always sit at the kids' table or always remembered for doing the worst things when you were young, right? And so it's important that we know that we're this tree, that someday we're part of this tree. And even through this cyberspace, we're part of this tree of friendship and teaching with all these branches going out all over. And then maybe something we say is reflected in something you believe, which is reflected back to us, kind of like the moonlight rays. So mom wanted to share. And when we share these poems from the students, it's also like sending a prayer to them wherever they are. Sometimes we'll never see them again. Sometimes, everybody, we will only meet each other once in this lifetime. And we're lucky we get to see each other again. But it's funny how deep and powerful our memories run and how important we are. Sometimes we don't know how important we are to each other. Let's see, I saw Angie here. And Angie, you made me this Thunderbird drawing a long time ago, and I carry that with me. And I see my brother Nate, and Nate has a beautiful son. And my brother Nate is a very powerful warrior. And he's talking about how he reflects his mother's energy in the way he cares for his son. What a powerful teaching, right? Sometimes I tease my mom because we're goofy, but even that humor, is a teaching. And so I just want you guys to know that all these different things, like right here, I have this shake a day. I have it right here. I keep all my medicine. And this is a friend made this for me. Look, it's Julia from the Grindstone. Oh, we miss you guys too. We're so happy to see all of you. And my friend made me that shake a day, someone that is from my past, but is part of who I am because of the history that we share. And then how beautiful that we get to see each other in the future. And he gives me this gift. And I think about my friend and that his wife lost her brother. And I lost my brother. That's why I have these tattoos. And also, I'm going to tell you, because today's presentation is also about the stars. So I'm going to tell you about the stars and my brother. So human beings, we are stardust. Whatever that means, the scientists figured it out that our basic atomic particles are stardust. So we're related to the stars, And our moms are shining stars. Mom even has stars on her little vest. That's so awesome. Jonathan, my nephew, he's out there in Seattle. He bought her that vest. My mom loves her vest.
At a thrift shop.
At a thrift shop. We love our thrift shops. Okay. That's another connection we have, right? All of us. And the stars are like the moon. We look up and we see them and we see the same stars. The stars are a little different than the moon, is that they change their positions according to the season. So the stars tell different stories. And this tattoo I have on my face isn't a gangster tattoo, although I have tattoos like that. It's a tattoo of 3 stars. And when my brother passed away, the neighbor who lived right across the fence, jumped over the fence, and he said, "Eagles and Loba." Bobcat said, "If you ever passed away, you'd be those 3 stars in the heavens." And even though it's a bittersweet story, those stars are right now in the cosmos. It's Orion's belt. It's real bright right here in this part of the solar system. And I think of those stars and I see my brother and I believe he's up there in those stars. So, who are you to your family tree? A hero, a hellraiser, a dream running free. And the people that are in our lives are like those important constellations, right? Like a star, shining starlight. So I'm so happy to see Our friends, when I think of you, I think of all the life experience. So Angie, up there, I got to run sweat on my brother's birthday during the rain. How beautiful is that? I see my buddy Maria Castro. Oh my God, she's a beating fanatic. And we're going to do this women's conference. I can't wait till COVID's over so we can get together like that. You know, I think of my brother Nate, who I miss so much, and how he is somebody that walked 1,000 miles and carried a wild eagle with his bare hands. When I tell the youth that story, they think about somebody who has heroic qualities. You know, I think about the grindstone, one of the most special places to me and mom. One time they opened up the roundhouse for us, and we got to sing in there with one of my very good friends who walks the spirit world now, Jermaine Trummel, was in there with us singing in that roundhouse under the night stars. And so when we miss someone we love so much, that's what we hold on to, right? That's what makes it beautiful. So now we'll sing Twinkle Twinkle. Ready to sing Twinkle Twinkle, Mom? Some of you have drums, so bust them out.
You can sing with us.
And you can sing with us. And what's the story? Oh, my good friend Kino, who's from Big Mountain, he did a guitar strum for this. So what's the story of Twinkle Twinkle, Little Star? I wanted to make a song about the stars, and of course, Twinkle Twinkle, we all know that. So this is the Indian version. But the special parts of the story are that this was the last song I got to sing to my brother. So it's special like that, right? Something, and he told me I was a good singer, so I get to have that compliment in my heart forever. And I know a lot of people love this song, and I taught all these little kids to sing it, and they sing it so good. And there's a story in the song. So there's a verse that says, "Wish I may, wish I might have this wish I wish tonight. Though you're not here, wherever you are, you guys are out there in cyberspace. Though you're not here, you're always near because you live in our hearts and in my dreams. Because can't you dream of someone? Even if they're not even alive, you can dream of them. It feels like they're real, huh? I don't have that many dreams, but you guys are in my heart. So here's a Twinkle Song. Record it and sing it. And I dedicate it to all of you, and I dedicate it to the sisters who are missing their brothers right now, because I know there's a few of you out there. And so this is a song I sang for my bro. I think I'm going to use a different drum. My friend Armando gave me this beautiful wolf drum, and I don't know that he's out there, but I'm going to sing it. So I sing this for all of you. Way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, 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 hey-oh, hey-ah, hey-oh. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are, up above in the sky so high, like a diamond in the night. Wish I may, wish I might have this wish I wish tonight. Though you're not here, you're always near. And in my dream, so follow your dream. Way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, way-ah, hey-ah, way Twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are. Up above, in the sky so high, like a diamond in the sky. Wish I may, wish I might have this wish I wish tonight. Though you're not here, you're always near. And in my dream, so follow your dream. And in my dream, so follow your dream. So follow your dream. So follow, follow, follow your dream. What dreams do we got? What dreams do we got? You know, when someone was looking at those moons and the stars, and you know, we wish on the stars. That's how much we love the stars. We see that first star and we'll make a wish. I did that a lot when I was a little kid. I still believe it. I think those wishes came true, even though I do not remember. What dreams do you have, my friends? What dreams do you still have? Put them down in the comments. Let us see them like a prayer, huh? Because that's how dreams come true. I think about some of my friends out there. We still have work to do. That's a wish of mine. Get our art and our curriculum and our music. What travels do we want to meet up with? I have my friend Chris. I wish to meet his wife. You know? So what wishes do you have, everyone? Put them down in the comment section. And we wish to see you again, too. What do you got there, Mama?
Well, I got this. I think it goes for everybody. It's something for everybody. And I think, and this is the new generation in which we're living in, and also what we're inspiring to do. And it's the life in movement and hope, the power and strength of the future. Then there is the victory of the survival of humanity and all our relations. Creator and all our spiritual ancestors walk with us. Brave soul in this calling of courage, with the voice of peace unfolding solutions, with the medicine of truth, of victory, and healing of the world. And that's us, bringing it together.
People put on there the same things too, like wishing for kids to be okay, dreaming for happiness, you know, dreaming of the places that we're coming from, the big trees, you know, like that's really what it is. Like our dreams are our little prayers of hope. Whatever it is that keeps us going on. And sometimes they change, you know. Sometimes you can have a mean dream. I wish this or that. And once again, where's that? Where's that coming from? I have a lot of pain in my heart sometimes, and it comes out in anger, but it's really just pain. So sometimes it's good to look at that and to even to put your heart on your pain. You know, remember how fragile we are sometimes, and that pain is a teaching. That it's something we all go through, so we help each other through it. Like I gone through the pain of losing my brother, so I know what it's like to feel like that. And all the sisters that feel like that, I want to lift them up. I want to tell them that they'll make it. I want to tell them our brothers will always love us. You know, mom has that pain too of losing her son. So many moms, she says, you know, we make it, that we live for our sons. There's other things too, like sometimes we'll break up with someone we love so much and we feel like like we won't survive. We can't survive, but you can. We can survive anything, anything at all, except losing our lives. And sometimes someone else will pray for us if we lose our lives. So what is that hope? We send those hopes and those prayers for everyone out there that needs that too. And I want to share this poem, sharing the poems, because the poems are in the story, and then the songs are part of the story too. And me and Mom's working juvenile hall, and this is a famous poem, and I picked it out for the kids, and it has some art on it. See, right there is one of my eagles, and then I put one of my poems too. And these are the things we would give out to the youth to keep. And some of us have relatives that are locked up. So anything that I have today in our show, you can message me and I'll send it to you, because I remember the kids and some of my brothers locked away, they would save these forever, like a little piece of the outside about love and hope. So that's why we always include art and we always include poetry. These are our little gifts of the soul. And some of you are way better artists and poets than us. So share those things. Some of you think you are not a good artist or poet, and you are. So please share. So here's the poem of Leviticus. It's an old poem. It is from 1855. A teenager wrote it. His name was William Ernst Henley, and he had just got a diagnosis of a disease that was going to take away his ability to walk. So imagine being a strong young teenager and then knowing you're going to lose your ability to walk. Some people wouldn't even want to live. So this is a very famous poem he wrote. It's called Leviticus. Out of the night that covers me, black as pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud under the bludgeoning of chance. My head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond the place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. And that is the poem Leviticus. I don't actually know what Leviticus means. I think I think of the Leviticus game, so it must mean unconquerable. So just remember that the kids like this poem, no matter what hardships they were going through, they had to remain unconquerable. Some of the teenagers we worked with got life sentences, and so they had to have an unconquerable spirit. Yes, some of them did commit bad crimes, horrific crimes. They were teenagers. Their brains weren't fully developed, but some of them were charged on gang injunctions. They were not actually the perpetrators of these crimes, but they still yet got the sentences. So imagine being in that place. It doesn't matter. Some of us have been in the worst places. Some of us are still in those places. But what matters is our connection to life. You know, I work with a group of teens in Orange County. These are teenagers that are doing life in prison. And you know what I tell them, you guys, when I see them, and they love to see me? I say, sometimes when you can just see out your window, I tell them, look at the moon and look at the stars. And I'm looking at those same moon and stars. And so is everyone you love. And when me and you are gone, those same moon and stars will be there. Those are all of ours. So I tell the young people that, and I tell you that when you're sad or facing a loss. It's good to look at something bright and remember teachings like this. And through the brightness will come darkness. Through the darkness will come brightness, and both. Because when it's light, it gets dark. And that's real. And then I want to read The Key Is Me. And the kids will say, Auntie, will you write me a poem? Because I write real rhymey poems. So this is one I wrote for them. And for all of us, this is like a perfect poem for COVID times. The key is me. Climbing the walls, hearing the calls, not wanting to fall any further. looking back at the years, hearing the jeers, fighting the tears and the fear. But through all the pain, I remain sane, awaiting the time again when I am free and hold the key to my destiny of who I will. So even though I'm grown and mama's an elder, we still got destiny. We're still looking forward to the end of COVID. We're still looking forward to coming out and visiting you, you know. So that is a poem of hope and sharing. So as mom's waiting for her next thing, I'm going to show you mom's next drawing. Woo! Isn't that drawing awesome? Mom's never drew until my brother passed away, which is two teachings. We have a lot of talents in us that we don't even know. And sometimes it's not till we have the time or something we might says for us to look within our soul. So when you're going through hard times, look within your soul for that healing. Your soul has it. That's a teaching. So that's mama's drawing. And actually there's a story within this story. See, this drawing is actually a piece of art that my friend Steve Kim brought me from Mexico City. And Steve Kim, he actually works for death row prisoners. So people on death row, he does all this background research and actually travels all over the place finding out about these people, if they deserve to be on death row or to keep them from getting executed, whatever it is. But that's just like a story within the story. That beautiful piece of art Steve Kim brought me inspired my mom to draw this. Isn't that nice? And I will send you a copy.
So what I wanted to share, I think that when we are going through really hard times, and this is a really cute little booklet.
Mom made it. That's why she loves it.
Anyway, it starts with the poem, and then it starts with another poem, third poem, and then it starts with notes. And when you get to the notes, you can write what you like or what you learned or what inspired you. And then I have the breathing exercises to calm you down and reflect, and also to soldier you up. And I really like this uh, affirmation exercise. And these are the things that we choose to master that will help uplift our lives and others. And then I put write 3, so it won't be too hard. And then when when I make the affirmations, I make a prayer, and I speak them out loud outside, like to the universe, and that's for me, and to open myself to the universe and the healing. And then I put more space here, and I'm not a good artist, but I drew a rose, and then also I put a spiritual affirmation. These are the teachings of awareness of subconsciousness, being mindful, the breathing to center the core of our lives, to be empowered in the selection of our choices, in choosing words that fuels the mind and speaks to the heart. Speak and walk and talk of peace with love and caring. Be mindful of your actions and reactions. The children see you, you see you, and you live with you. Live and be the role model of one of a conscious walk in this movement of healing, of all working together for humanity. Good with good intents and deeds. Much love, Grandma from the hood. That's what the kids name me. The juvenile hall.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a story within the story, like that's the story within it. A long time ago, this lady, Elisa Scott, goes, "Oh, I have to go now because I'm working with my mom." And I go, "You work with your mom?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "You do this work with your mom?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Oh, I'm gonna work with my mom." And then April Goforth, years ago, we're talking 20 years ago, had me do a women's conference like the one we're gonna do for Maria, and I brought moms. And I actually had to do it wasn't a women's conference, I forgot. It was a youth conference, and it was on STDs and empowerment. So I had to do this crazy workshop on youth STDs, which is so crazy. none of you would ever have sex again if you heard my workshop.
You didn't even tell me.
I know, and I didn't even tell my mom. And then I go, okay, Mom, get up and say something. And she looked like this. She looked at me, and then she got up and talked, blah, blah, blah. And then when we were done, all the kids came down to get an autograph from my mom, right? So she's been working with me ever since. And when we lost my brother, we were so sad. Like, I wanted to quit working too, because I do all this work with you, the community, and there I lose my own brother to everything that I work with, injustice, and addiction, and all these things, and violence. And we were so brokenhearted. And my friends from Fallbrook, from San Diego Education Department, coaxed me to do a workshop. And then that helped being with the youth. And then my other friends from Ukiah coaxed me to come and do a workshop. And in that workshop was a student who had lost her cousin. And through that, both that pain was this awareness to me about like how we have to share our pain with each other sometimes to help each other so that we know that we're not alive, so that we know we're under the same moon and stars, and we'll help each other out during the hard times and carry on. So we were so sad. And I told my mom, I go, Mom, you have to come with me and we're going to do this job. And it was on the Hoopa reservations up north. And that was a women's conference. And we do all this sharing. And there was a time, and it was a beautiful conference because we got to do a workshop for the women and the kids. And we were sharing our grief. And it wasn't until we did the workshop with the kids, when me and Mom shared our pain. And all those little precious kids and teenagers felt that they could share their pain. And I'll never forget what this one kid told me. This kid had been through all this tragedy, and she said, but I don't cry in front of my mom or grandma. She goes, because that makes them sad. She goes, and the grown-ups get so sad. Oh, I never forgot that little kid telling me that. And so everyone, when we're in our pain, to remember the children and the youth and help them too, and put your hands on it. And how you heal from the worst things, is losing someone you love to tragedy, is through love and beauty and poetry and song and ceremony, because those things uplift us and give us memories of joy and beauty and love. So that's some of the healing that we learned when we were out sharing this. And that part of us working together is the healing work, like getting to do the poetry and the songs, but then talking these things that we live in right now. COVID is a time of mourning, isn't it? Because all of us probably know someone, even if it's just on Facebook, who's been affected, huh? So we're all going through this kind of grief and anger and change. So it's good to remember to look up at the stars and the moon and remember some generation of humanity in the past went through things much harder than this, and they made it. And we're going to make it too.
I think I would like, if it's okay with you, to have somebody share something and we can read it. So would somebody like to share something? Because I know that you have a lot of medicine yourself and a lot of healing words and words of thought.
So I was one of my brothers was saying, I used to stare at the barbed wires and remind myself, my mind will always be free. How powerful is that?
Yes. Thank you.
Our mind is free. And then you know what? There's a teaching that too, is sometimes we cage our own minds, huh? We'll go through disrespect or family trauma, or maybe there's imbalance in our relationships, and then sometimes we can just think stuff that brings us down. Sometimes you got to uncage your mind and let those thoughts go and think of something else, even if they're true. Unless you're living in some sort of really abusive environment. Well, this is also, hear me and grandma to say, set yourself free. We will help you. We'll send those prayers. Because we don't want no one living like that. Because we know what that's like to live through too. So keep sharing your teachings too. And I want to share this Thanksgiving lesson. And it's kind of a poem lesson. It goes like, during this time of Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving passed, but it's still Thanksgiving. says, sometimes this was I wrote for the youth, but it still matters. It says, during this time of Thanksgiving, as we miss our loved ones, because we will always miss loved ones that aren't at the table, and special emotions we create in our hearts, take a moment and go back in time and remember. Even if it's just a fleeting memory, but that's truly what life offers us. Little experiences filled with love and fun, woven through good times and bad. Experiences that shape our memory and how we look at ourselves and what we find important. And during our darkest times, we can lay our hands on our hearts and take a deep breath and remember the laughter, the tears, the faces, the love, the pain, the pleasure, and smile through your pain. For the sweet breath in your lungs will carry you through yet another day. And somewhere, not too far or near, someone loves you, even if it feels like it's just me and the sun. Well, hey, hey, way ah, hey, ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, ah, way, oh, hey, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, ah. Way, oh, hey, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, hey, ah. Way oh, hey, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, oh. Way oh, hey, hey, ah. Way oh, hey, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, oh. Way oh, hey, hey, ah. Way oh, hey, hey, oh. Way ah, hey, ah, hey, ah. Way ah, hey, oh. Way oh, hey, hey, ah. So I want to share a story, an Indian story. So all you guys with kids, listen so you can tell this story too, and then we'll share the song with it. And it's a healing story too. And I need my glasses to see. And I take them off when I want to look younger because I don't have as many wrinkles. That's a trick you get when you get older.
That doesn't help me.
And everybody take care of your moms because you're going to look like your mom. See, we even got the same kind of gray going on there, huh? So here's the story. Everyone picture it in your mind like you're watching a cartoon. I wish I had animated, but I didn't. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a nest of little birds. They were getting just about ready to fly. A couple of them had flown out, but one was left, still hadn't learned how to fly. And a big wind came and blew that nest out of the tree. When the tree landed on the ground, the little bird broke his wing. And you know, everyone, everything that's alive loves its life, tries to fight for its life. Sometimes we as humans, we forget. We get so down or sad or mad. We forget life is the most important thing. And all little creatures, they know to try to hustle their life. So this little bird took a deep breath. Remember how Grandma was telling you about breathing? This is how you breathe if you want peace. So 3 breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep breathing. But 3 gives you peace. 5 prepare you for challenge or battle. That little bird took a deep breath out of his little beak. And he went and he found a tree. And he drug his little broken wing up to a big, white, shiny alder tree. And the little bird said, "Weebo, big tree, my wing is broken and I need a place to rest. Could I rest here?" Now, you guys know trees are so nice, right? But trees are living things too. This tree, 10 years earlier, the loggers had come and had chopped it up. They hadn't actually chopped it down because a big lightning storm came and they all ran off. So this tree was full of all these hack marks. And the tree, when it first saw the little bird, its instinct was to help the little bird and say yes. But then, in a second, all those hack marks in the tree just reminded the tree that it was in a lot of pain and nobody had ever helped it. Nobody ever told the tree they felt sorry for it. No hippie had ever come and hugged the tree. Nobody had ever given the tree any kind of nothing. And the tree was bitter. The tree saw the little bird and said, "You know, little bird, I feel sorry for you, but you can't stay here. You're all jacked up looking and it depresses me and something's probably going to come and kill you right in front of me and I can't have that. So I pray that you can go rest somewhere else, but you can't rest here." Oh, and the little bird was so sad. Don't you get so sad someday when you ask your sister to borrow $1,000 to fix your truck and she tells you no, and you know she has it, but she tells you no? That's how the little bird felt. And the little bird goes, "Oh." But remember I told you about animals and bugs? They hustle their life. And that little bird took his wing and he drug himself to the next tree. And this tree was an oak tree. And this tree wasn't actually even a tree. It was more of a snag because it had chop marks. Because 10 years before, those same loggers had come to cut down that tree. They had chopped it all up, and the lightning struck it and burned it. So this tree was not much of a tree with a few little leaves alive. And the little bird went up to the tree and said, "Weebo, big tree, I broke my arm and I need a place to rest. And I know I look jacked up and something might even kill me in front of you. But if you will just let me rest, I will really appreciate it. I feel like I'll get better." The oak tree didn't even feel her heart no more. And she just saw that little bird and go, "Oh, no, don't expect any help from me. Look at me. I'm burned up, hacked up. Nothing cared about me. And you know what? I don't care about nothing either. I don't care about nothing. I don't need nothing. I just need rain. So you little bird, you're probably gonna die. And I don't want you to die here. So just move on and move on, move on." Those are some mean old trees. And the little bird was like, "Oh," and the little bird wanted to give up. Don't give up. Keep asking. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Even if you ask 10 people, ask 11. Don't give up. You know what the Buddha said? The Buddha said, if you need help, ask. Ask your friends, ask people who love you, because they'll be sad if you needed help and then you didn't ask for help and then they found out that they could have helped you. So don't be like, "Oh, I don't need no help." Ask like that little bird. And even though that tree was mean, little bird didn't give up. Took a deep breath and drug himself to the next tree. And the next tree, everyone, was an alder tree with the red bark. Sometimes people think the alder tree is the redwood tree because they have the red bark, but they're not. The redwood little needles are round and the alder needles are flat. And the alder tree, the little bird went up to the tree and said, "Weebo, big tree, I asked 2 trees and I know I'm jacked up, but I need a place to stay. And if you would just let me stay, I feel like I'll get better. But I understand if you're feeling haterish, I'll keep going. But could I just stay?" And my drums are made of trees. They were straight, but you soak them, or if the wind blows, the tree can bend. And that big alder tree bent down and scooped up the little bird and put it in its branch. And it told the little bird, "Oh, little bird, I'll take care of you. You can stay here as long as you need, and I'll take care of you. And even if you die, little bird, I'll take care of you." And that night, that little bird felt so good, felt comforted and safe. And the next day, his little wing got better and he flew away. Normally that would be the end of my story, but this is an ending story. And guess who came to town the next day? Creator. Creator came to town. Creator went to the trees and Creator said, trees, I was watching you, trees. And you, alder tree, and you, oak tree, you were mean. You were mean to that little bird. And the trees are like, Creator, you made life real hard, Creator. And we didn't mean to be mean. We're just feeling crabby and grouchy. And Creator goes, I did make life hard because you wouldn't know. If life was so easy and everything lived forever, you wouldn't know how precious life is. And you guys are mean, and I made things to be nice to each other, not perfectly nice, but so that we could get along. Like, if you're nicer, things work out better. And the trees were like, well, you made predator and prey. And she said, but I made balance. So the predator is supposed to eat all the prey, and the prey gets his day too. Creator goes, so you trees, I made you, you're my creations, but I have to punish you. They're like, oh no. And she goes, so when the fall comes, I'm going to turn all your leaves into beautiful colors, red and orange and gold. And the alder tree and the oak tree is like, oh, that doesn't sound like punishment. Shoot. I like those new colors. That sounds nice. And Creator goes, and then all your leaves are going to change color and you're going to be so beautiful and fiery. And then they're all going to fall off and you're going to be naked. And they're like, oh, because nothing likes to be naked except Heidi Klum. And the trees are like, oh no. She goes, but you'll get your leaves back. She goes, you just remember to be nice. And she goes, and you, alder tree, you will be known from this day forward as the great healing tree. And every part of you will be used for healing, from your bark to your roots to your leaves. And so even today, we burn the alder smoke, and the alder tree is the great healing tree. And that's the story of the tree and the little bird. And then this is the cedar song. It is the song for the cedar. It goes like this. All my songs are way-a songs, so they're easy to learn. Way-a, hey-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Way-a, hey-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Way-a, hey-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a. Way-a, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey. Way-a, hey, way-a, hey-a, hey-o, way-a, hey-o. Oh, oh. Did you guys like that story? Did you see any of the different teachings in that story? And if you did, put your comments down. The title of the workshop was The Moon and the Stars and What Are Ours. And we started talking about the moon and what it means. And I want you to think about, and maybe you could post like when we're done, like, what does the moon mean to you? I'm curious. Like, what does the moon mean to each of you? Someone said connection. And I know the moon means connection to me too. And it means like a journey. Like when I see the moon, I feel like everyone I love, that we're on that same journey. So what does the moon mean to you? And then the stars. Like scientifically, we are stars, the atomic particles of stars. Oh, I remember seeing something, a card I bought. It says, remain humble, for you are of the earth, and remember you are eternal, for you are from the stars. So I thought of that too. You know, there's a lot of people in our lineage that we don't remember, but the DNA that we carry is eternal. And we carry bits and pieces of them in us, literally. You know, and the ones coming after our kids will have all those bits and pieces of us. So the moon and the stars and what it meant to you, and all of ours. You know, someone wrote just now how the moon makes them feel safe, like a guardian. Isn't that true and beautiful? Like remember when you were a kid on a road trip and the moon will follow you home? You know, I bet when my friend looked past that barbed wire and you could see the moon, and the moon is like a beacon, you know, and then the moon's in the heavens, right? So everyone we love is up there with the moon. Some people see the moon as healing, right? Because the moon stands for cycles. And everyone, this is important to know. Everyone, when we're going through stuff, it's a cycle. Like we have cycles of grief. How I feel 11 years later from when my brother died is different. We will never get over it. We won't. We will miss him forever. It's and we miss him when there's those times, the graduations and the new babies, and that's how it will always be, right? But just like someone wrote just now, there's star people now, and they're watching us, and they're connected to those stars, you know, and they're protecting us. Like even let's say they weren't, but when you think it, don't you feel like you are? And we can offer ourselves that self-protection. So I love that, how the moon is like a guardian, even for the next generations too. Sometimes people see the moon as a beautiful woman or a handsome man. And I say that to people when they're lonely. Sometimes people are lonely for a partner. And I say, oh, let your moon be your partner right now. Now shine the light on who you're supposed to find. Right? So the moon can even be a matchmaker too. So, and then what is our? So we shared our poetry. We shared our different drawings. There is this other poem because I was looking through all these things and I found this one. And I think, oh, and then someone wrote too, how the moon is always my light in the dark. And there's two things too, is like that can be your metaphor too. It's like when you're going through those hard times, you say, let that moon shine for me. And that remembers, like, you know, my whole career, like me even being on Zoom, duh, I owe it to the moon. Okay, so real quick story. Long time ago, I got out of college, graduated college. Took me forever. I really have a PhD, but I only have a bachelor's. And I graduated college, and then Ukiah, they love me still down there, wanted me to come and talk to all their little gang members. I'm like, I'm perfect for this. No, the gang lifestyle come from that. Oh, I'm gonna tell the kids and I uplift them. So I went and I was so enthusiastic college student. And I went and I talked to all these kids, and I swear I turned them into gang members. I was like, oh my God, like, oh, this is the wrong career for me. Wrong. I need to think of something else to do. And I was driving back from Ukiah up to Humboldt, and you know the beautiful redwood trees, and the moon was rising. You know, the sun rises and the moon rises. And I was having a pity party for myself, and I had to get a new job in my mind. And the moon kept going higher. And you know, it's got to get over those redwood trees. So I was watching it and watching it. And you know, when the moon got right up over those redwood trees, you know what the moon taught me? The moon said, "Oh, you will rise to the occasion." The moon taught me that you will rise to the occasion. So here I am. Oh, I forgot that was the theme of my whole presentation. That's why I'm here, because of the moon, right? That's just one of the teachings. And all of us, in our hard times and in our grief, remember that to rise like the moon. So I want to end on this with this poem, and then me and Mom will end with the song. If you guys want to put any parting comments, we'll address those. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, my friend Rocky and Natalie. They're our very good friends. We worked together in Juvenile Hall. They run Hip Hop Congress, and we're blessed. We're all blessed to know each other. I thank you, my friend Chris from Humboldt, and Angie from Miwok, and Nate. Oh, I miss you, Nate. And it mattered that you guys came. Only if you guys were the only ones that come. And please tell your other friends. And Doris, my friend Doris. You know, Doris' son Chris. He passed away in Hawaii. I never told anyone this, but he was a spiritual friend of mine. Like, we were literally spiritual friends. He brought me an eagle feather from Greece. How many of you Indians got an eagle feather from Greece? Okay. And so the day he died, I felt his spirit. I felt he was flying. I had this vision of him flying. And he called me and he goes, "Oh, Maggie." And I saw this picture of him because I'm a tripper. And I saw him flying through this greenery. And then I heard him say, "Oh, I'm going to live." And then I heard him say, "Oh, I'm going to die." And I heard him say, "I'm going to die." And I heard him call Maggie, because we were spiritual friends. And I know my friend Chris's spirit wanted me to come and help his spirit, because that's how we were friends. I uplifted his spirit and he uplifted mine. When I would make him his necklaces and he talked real fast and he would invite me whitewater rafting. Our relationship was through the eagle feather, where I would come and bless him up with that eagle feather. And he put one tiny tattoo on my ankle of a wolf, because I'm La Loba, a piece of my jewelry. And I pined to see my friend. After he passed away, I pined to go get his spirit in Hawaii. I did. And my husband offered during our anniversary that we would go to Oahu and I could go offer prayers and a song. And I did. And I made beautiful necklaces and I presented them to the spirits of Hawaii, because the Hawaiian people are very spiritual. And I presented it to their tikis and their kapunas. And I asked to send my friend's spirit back home. And their spirits came. And I want to tell you, it was such a powerful spiritual experience that it helped heal my heart too. And I made these pieces of jewelry for his family, and I hope they receive that healing too. But that spiritual adventure enriched me, and I know that I was his friend to do that for him. So everybody, it's so important when we share our songs and our friendship, even with people that you think, I don't know, because they're meant to be in your life. And then one more thing. If someone invites you whitewater rafting, make the time. You guys invite, I'm never gonna do that again. With my friends, take that picture, make the time, because sometimes we don't get it next time. So next time, I look forward to seeing all of you in the real, in the flesh, after we survive COVID, and we will. And hopefully it teaches us, one world, one humanity, let's take care of each other and the earth. If we can get through anything, and we can. So here's my parting poem, and then we'll end with the song. Me and you are just a tiny spot in the history of time, a swift wisp of life, yet so sublime. Think of the past hardships long fought, of ancestors' lives, the family line long forgot. Like twinkling stars in the sky, life is to live, and then you die. So savor life's moments and not let them just fly by. In this life, you must strive, find heart and the drive, mine out the meaning to be alive. With the ticking of this life's clock, be grateful for what you had and what you got. And every night, may your heart and soul lead the way to find the beauty and the peace in each. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, all my precious friends. Even if there's just like 10 of us, you guys are like so special. And then have some others to watch this if you feel like they need that too. Just grandma and auntie sharing that auntie love. And next time we'll do some warrior teachings too. And so I want to sing you the Song of Infinity. It's actually a Shaker song that comes from up north, from these beautiful, wise, wonderful sisters, Weon sisters. And my brother-in-law was passing away, and this song came to us, and these words. And you know, me and you are infinity. That whenever we pass this life, we enter the cosmos of infinite time, and we become whatever we're supposed to be as spirits in the spirit life. And there is a spirit life. We celebrated my brother's birthday. We went to the zoo, which was his favorite place. And what did we find there right in front of the eagles? A shining dime. That was his gift for me because he used to say, here's my number and a dime, or get a dime bag.
And a red eagle.
And a red eagle. So this is the Infinity Song. Way, way up, way, way up, way, way up. May your mind be still, so find peace, and its everlasting life within. For beyond this mortal reality lies the land of infinity, the land of infinity. Way, way up, way, way up, way, way up. And in the land of infinity, spirit is set free. Spirit, it flies free. Way, way up, way, way up, way, way up. Oh, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We hope you liked it. It was so nice to see you all. And Jaffa came. Nice to see you, Jaffa. I'm so happy you came. All the way from SD. And that was the moral of the story, everyone. The moon and the stars and what is ours. The moon and the stars belong to us. Our place in each other's lives belong to us. And maybe the things that we live through, we help each other in the future. And that we live our lives as good as we can so that when we're the ancestors, they still sing these songs for us, you know. So thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful to travel through time and space and be with you. And we hope we see you all again soon. Peace.